Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending the commissioning ceremony for Andrew Heath Schrader as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. This is a formal military ceremony, but please feel free to move around and take pictures. Please hold applause till the end. Please rise for the national anthem. That's the Marines hymn.
Okay, sorry.
Please be seated. Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know me, I'm First Lieutenant Ethan Sorrell, military police officer with 2nd Law Enforcement Battalion out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Also, the brother of the fiance of the commissionee. So, it's definitely an honor and a pleasure to be here for multiple reasons. As I alluded to earlier, pretty much exactly 3 years and 3 days ago, I have stood in the same ceremony, swore the same oath that Andy's just about to, and I've walked the same path that he's on and about to walk. And I can tell you that he's the man for the job. If he wasn't meant to do what he's doing, he wouldn't have made it this far. Our Marines are some of the toughest, they are the toughest and most resilient warriors that our nation has to offer. And with godly men of character like Andy leading them, they're unstoppable. You know, when you watch the news today, when you watch the news and you read the paper, and you're saddened by the political state of the country, the state that our country's in, I want you to think about men and women like Andy with their character, with their courage, and with their conviction, and have hope. Know that it's not the White House, it's not Capitol Hill that carries the burdens and the sacrifices of freedom. It's guys and gals like Andy that have nothing but a love for God, country, and family in their hearts. It brings me great pride to call Andy a good friend of mine, my future brother-in-law, and my newest brother-in-arms. Now will be the appointment and the oath of office. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. Know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Andrew Heath Schrader, I do appoint this officer a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps, to rank as such from the 7th day of May, 2016. This officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office to which appointed by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging. And I do strictly charge and require those officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as is due an officer of this grade and position. And this officer is to observe and follow orders and directions from time to time as may be given by the President of the United States of America or other superior officers acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. This commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the President of the United States of America under the provisions of those public laws relating to officers of the armed forces of the United States of America and the component thereof in which this appointee is made. Done at the city of Washington, this 29th day of January in the year of our Lord, 2016, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 239th year. Signed, Robert D. Neller, Commandant, United States Marine Corps. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Andrew Schrader,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I accept this obligation freely
that I accept this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office on which I'm about to enter.
of the office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The next part of the ceremony is the pinning of the bars. Second Lieutenant Schrader will have his bars pinned on by his parents, Scott and Lisa Schrader. And as is customary in the Marine Corps, the bars that he is being pinned with are the ones that I was pinned with as a second lieutenant on this very day, 3 years and 3 days ago. In the Marine Corps, it's a symbol of passing the torch, passing the responsibility, the wisdom, and the knowledge that I carried and learned as a second lieutenant down to Andy. The next part of the ceremony is a traditional first salute. The first salute is rendered as a gesture of respect and a sign of camaraderie between officers and enlisted personnel. It is significant in that the officers and enlisted personnel not act as senior and subordinate, but as teammates and brothers in arms. As General John A. Lejeune, 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, wrote in the Marine Corps Manual, edition of 1926, the relation between officers and enlisted men should in no sense be that of superior to inferior, nor that of master and servant, but rather teacher and scholar. In fact, it should partake of the relation between father and son or daughter, to the extent that officers, especially commanding officers, are responsible for the physical, mental, and moral welfare, as well as the discipline and military training of the young men and women under their command who are serving the nation in the Marine Corps. The salute originated in the days of chivalry, where knights in armor raised their visors to friends for the purpose of identification. Because of strict adherence to rank, the junior was required to make the first gesture. It is also traditional for the Marine rendering the first salute to receive a silver dollar from the new officer. The silver dollar salute has been around for hundreds of years and has continued to this day to provide a token of gratitude to the enlisted Marine for the respects that have been rendered for the first time. Rendering Lieutenant Schrader's first salute is his uncle, Sergeant Eddie Gilbert, United States Marine Corps retired.
Congratulations.
And also here are members of the Northeast Alabama Detachment of the Marine Corps League to salute the newly promoted officer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the newest Second Lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps, Andrew Schrader.
I'd just like to say a few words first. Roughly 4 years ago, I was fortunate enough to attend Lieutenant Sorrell's OCS graduation in Quantico, Virginia. That kind of ignited a fire in me and made me want to push myself to my limits to achieve what he was able to. So that got the fire started for me. And then roughly 3 years later, I was able to attend his commissioning ceremony. So that just kind of solidified the process, or the thought process, I guess, in me, which made me want to fight that much harder to get a slot for OCS. So last year, around this time, I shipped off for OCS and was able to graduate the exact same parade deck as him. And he's just been a really good mentor between words of encouragement, whether it be training, study material, whatever it be. I mean, Lieutenant Sorrell, he embodies what it means to be a Marine officer. So I aspire to be like him and everything. I'd like to thank my family, my parents, my little brother. They've loved me unconditionally throughout this whole process and gave me words of encouragement. And I mean, even though this probably isn't the right choice that they would have picked for me, but they still support me through everything. So I just want to say thank you and I love you. And then to my beautiful fiance here and her family, they've been really good to me. They've never let me give up on what I'm doing. They push me to be a better man, a better Marine. So I want to say thank you all so much. And thank you to my church family for all the letters. It's gotten me through some really hard times, all the prayers. So it's been able to make me push that much harder and know that I can do a lot. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's made this dream possible. Thank you.
And he gave me a lot more credit than I'm due. He couldn't have made it here without his own personal initiative and drive, because having walked on, as I said earlier, the same path that he's walked on, it's no easy path. And it's definitely, as a big brother to my little sister, it's been awesome, watching both of them grow up from this tall, 12 years old, since you guys have been together that long or so. And now here they are, graduating college. He's wearing the same uniform I am, and they're about to get married. So, I can't think of a better man. There's no better man to marry my sister than this one right here. And I can also say there's no better man than to lead the Marines that this nation, needs also. And just as an encouragement to everybody who knows and loves Andy, despite what you see about what's going on in the world and where Marines are sent to, know that he's going to be surrounded by some of the strongest people there are. Anywhere he goes, he's going to have the best possible training, the best possible preparation to do so. And again, he's going to be right up there in the front. He's not going to be alone. He's always going to be surrounded by other Marines. So, and our veterans in the back can attest to that. They know once a Marine, always a Marine. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise for the Marines hymn. This concludes today's ceremony. Please join Lieutenant Schrader and family in the fellowship hall for refreshments and the signing of his contract. God bless and Semper Fidelis.